Just look at how you've grown the park. It's like they say about tiny acorns. Don't eat them. No, that's not it. Anyway, just time for a few final management lessons before I let you loose on the world. Now, these first few of the last few lessons will mostly be focusing on finance.
Which is why I'll be handling them. You can get started by looking at the overall finances of the park in the finance section of park management. Come on, money's a-wasting. This is my happy place. Just look at all those fiscals. You can get a very solid idea of how your park's finances are doing here. And looking at it, your rides are doing well. But I think your shops could be doing better. Open up the Attractions and Shops panel. As you can see, this section gives you an overview of how your shops and facilities are doing. And as I thought, you could definitely stand to raise your food and drinks prices by $50 or so. Happy guests don't mind paying a little extra. You can also raise the prices of ATMs, toilets, even the first aid facilities, but it's a good idea not to get too greedy with those. Just greedy enough.
don't want a romance.
Even to 10 if you ask me.
Quedamos no turno now.
Tonsils are whippy.
Yes, that's better. It's hardly a lottery win, but we are seeing a bit more profit, which means...
That I get to interrupt you for once. We should put some of that money into researching a roller coaster. After all, guests eventually tire of old rides. So, putting money into ride research is essential if you want to keep a park fresh or expand it.
Oh my! Oh yes! You should begin research at once.
Now that the research is in hand, we should take a look at the staff again, because their happiness is just as important as the guests' happiness. Go on, take a look at your staff list. Good! See, if a staff member is unhappy, then they won't be as effective at their job. And if they're really unhappy, they might even quit entirely. Anyway, I think it's high time we gave some of our staff a raise, don't you?
No.
That wasn't directed at you, Cynthia. So, check if any of your staff members aren't as happy as they could be. And, if so, bump their wages up a notch or two.
Fuck, everyone's happy. What the fuck? Increased salary of 5 members. Oh my god.
There, that's a start. Now, if a staff member's workload is too high, it means that they aren't able to keep on top of all their duties, which will make them unhappy. One way around that is hiring more staff. But a more efficient way to deal with it is through staff training. So, train up some of your staff. Once you've chosen who to train, they'll soon toddle off to the staff building to receive their training and complimentary donuts. Oh, yes. You clearly know how to care for your staff. Now that you've addressed their wages, workloads, and training, they'll be showering you with world's best boss mugs in no time. And that means you're ready to learn about building roller coasters. Oh my. They're expensive things, but a theme park isn't a theme park without one. Eugene, take it away.
Take what away? Oh, I understand. If you could reveal the newly researched coaster blueprint, please. Well, that was needlessly over the top. Oh, but that is quite an exciting new coaster. That could easily hit 4.28 on the Eugene Thrill Rating scale. And now that you have a new coaster type, you can place coaster blueprints for it, or even build a coaster from scratch. But you should probably walk before you run. Now, open the coaster browser and select the blueprint.
Here's some money. Think of it as a scholarship.
And place it in a suitable location.
Oh, look at that! Your first coaster! You must feel so proud.
Oh, gosh. Out of my way. I'm gonna ride that thing.
Sorry, not just yet, Lucy. For while the construction of the coaster is finished, we are not. First, the coaster has to be tested to make sure it is safe. If you could do that, please.
You know, if it's just about signing a safety waiver, then I'm actually cool with that.
Well now, looking at the telemetry data, the fear and nausea ratings are well within tolerable levels for guests, which means this ride is perfectly safe. Of course, that was to be expected with a prefabricated blueprint ride. When you build coasters from scratch, things can go differently. Okay, when you've connected it up to the rest of the park, you can open the coaster.
Eugene?
Again, apologies. Open the coaster!
Why can't I open it? The fuck? Ride built what? Uh,
Much better. And what a fine coaster. But you're not done yet. You should adorn the track with plenty of wonderful scenery. Give the guests something exciting and unique to see as they whiz around those twists and turns. Oh, and of course, scenery will also improve the ride's prestige.
You could use animatronics. They're extremely effective, although they will incur running costs.
And, of course, there's all those wonderful scenery blueprints that Eugene made for you.
Indeed, I really cannot overstate how long it took me to make those for you.
Will you look at that? Are you sure you haven't done this before? We should immortalize your coaster by saving it as a blueprint. Okay. So, you'll need to multi-select everything you want to include in your blueprint. Go on. Now, go and create a blueprint and you'll be able to make as many copies of your coaster as you like. Or at least can afford. Oh, don't forget to give your blueprint a good name and an exciting screenshot. And make sure to add any tags you want to it, so you can find it easily later.
Test, I guess. Fuck. I don't know if I'm gonna name it. tired. Oh my god.
Now you've made a blueprint, you'll find it in the Coasters browser. But there's also somewhere even more exciting. The workshop. You see, blueprints are a lot like sandwiches. You can share them with other people, and they contain pickles. No, that's not it. But just imagine it. Sharing your blueprints with the world. With the world sharing what they've built right back. That's what the workshop can do for you. Whew! Well, that was a lot of work, wasn't it? I think it's time you enjoyed the fruit of your labours by riding your coaster, don't you?
Yes.
Go on, select it, and get on!
How? Use the ride camera in seat mode for 20 seconds. How the fuck do I do that? Huh. Awesome. Come on, let's get this thing going.
Unlike the guests, you can get off the coaster whenever you like. You know, just in case you're feeling a little bit wobbly in the tum-tum.
Fuck you smiling at, you fucking goof. Don't even fucking look at me. Fuck your mom. Oh my god, again. How do you change camera? Oh wait, you get to pick the car you want to be in? Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Unlike the guests, you can get off the coaster
Shut
whenever
the
you like.
fuck up, I don't even
You
want to get
know,
off.
just in case you're feeling a little bit wobbly in the tum-tum.
I'll fucking tum-tum your mom. That's so cool.
guests, you can get off the coaster whenever you like. You know, just in case you're feeling a little bit wobbly in the tum-tum. Congratulations! Oh, I'd slap you on the back, but you look a wee bit queasy. Even so, I think you're ready to start your, no doubt, illustrious career in park management.
What wonderful news! Because it means you can start paying back the time and effort that Oswald's invested in you.
And if you would let me, I would dearly love to teach you the intricacies of building a coaster from the ground up. Oh, or ground down if it's subterranean.
And I'm gonna tag along because my season pass gives me free entry anyway. Oh, and to watch you grow as a manager, obviously.
Cool.
Not that you haven't grown already. Just look at this park. At your park. Full of happy guests, making precious but reasonably priced memories. You should be proud of yourself. But this is just the start. Are you ready for the next step?
I am. Most popular attraction, Magic Castle. Wait, 3 out of 6? What did I do? Suck my dick, but... Or wait. This is the second tutorial, isn't it? Right? Yes, this is the second tutorial, my bad. I thought I didn't do something, that's fucked up.
Welcome to our roller coaster development facility. Here you can learn about, build and test coasters to your heart's content, all without having to worry about finances and whatnot. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I think Cynthia has found some kind of tax loophole. Right, I'll leave you in Eugene's capable hands. There is literally nothing he doesn't know about coasters.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. You are quite correct. And yet love, however, remains a mystery. Now, when guests ride a coaster, their experience will be determined by how exciting it is, how much fear it causes, and how much nausea they experience during the ride. You can see these ratings in the Testing tab.
Select ride test coaster. Apparently it has to be this one.
Look at those little faces. The happy face is excitement. The higher the number, the better. The scared face is fear. The best rides are scary, but not too scary. The sick face is nausea. No one likes being sick, so keep this as low as possible. At a glance, a green face means the rating is very good and your ride will have higher prestige. That's the target we're aiming for. An amber face means the rating is just all right and the ride will have less prestige. That's the target you'll probably hit a lot of the time. A red face means the rating is very poor and may even cause problems for guests. And that's like missing all the targets and shooting yourself in the foot. So, what determines excitement, fear, and nausea values? Well, they result from the gravitational forces experienced by guests as the coaster changes direction and speed. These are called G-forces. When you're ready, deselect the test coaster. First, some basics. Every coaster needs a station where guests can get on and off. Different coaster types allow for different methods of propelling their trains. The most common method uses a chain lift to raise the coaster train up so that when it crests the top of the hill, gravity pulls it down and whooshes it around the track. Travelling down the first drop, the train will normally reach its fastest speed. It's a great way to start building excitement. Left and right turns in the track cause lateral G-forces that induce nausea in guests. By banking the track as it turns, you can change the force from lateral to vertical, pushing the rider down into their seat and making the turn a lot more comfortable. Cresting hills that generate just enough upward G-force will make guests feel like they're rising up out of their seats. This feeling of weightlessness, called airtime, provides maximum excitement to guests, with just the right amount of fear too. Finally, the circuit is complete as the track connects to the other side of the station. It's important that the train has enough speed to make it back to the station, but not so much that it has to brake suddenly, causing nausea. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? But fear not, you can always select one of the markers dotted around the test coaster for more detailed reference information, gathered via exhaustive experimentation and at least one tummy-related incident. Look at all that high-quality information. I really do spoil you. Okay, once you've taken everything on board, simply close this marker and we'll continue. That concludes the non-interactive portion of my presentation, for which you will now receive a bronze star. Very nice. Now, If you could head over to the highlighted area, we'll move on to the interactive portion. Good news! It's finally time to get your hands dirty, metaphorically, obviously, and construct your very own coaster. Now, it's probably a good idea to start out by trying to copy the test coaster. After all, its design is simple but effective. You can start by opening the coaster browser and selecting a coaster to build. Luckily, there's a coaster in there that's just perfect for our needs. So, let's build that one. Now that the station's down, you'll need to place pieces of track one by one by one to create a circuit. Start by building a chain lift high into the air, then switch to standard track pieces and create a thrilling ride back to the station. There are plenty of other options for you to explore in the settings, but I'll keep quiet and let you have the fun of experimenting. Plus, it's been 15 minutes, so I'm due a union-mandated cup of tea.
Bruh. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Gotta zoom in. Jesus, someone's gonna die on this fucking coaster.
You've completed your first track. Please let me be the first to offer you my warmest congratulations. Oh, and this silver star.
Nah. I don't think it's gonna work.
So, now you've built a coaster track, that means you need to test it and see how it fares. But before you do, you should familiarize yourself with the tools you can use to analyze its performance. Select the testing tab of your new coaster. As well as the Start Test option, the Testing tab has 3 sets of data that provide essential feedback from your test. Live data, results, and heat maps.
Someone's gonna die.
Live data displays information about the ride as it happens. The data is color-coded, so you can easily see how well the coaster is performing. Results give you a fascinating insight into the ride as a whole. There's all sorts of interesting data in there. Heat maps let you view data directly on the track, allowing you to pinpoint issues more precisely. You can choose what type of information you want the heat map to visualize. Right, when you're ready, feel free to start a test. Don't worry, you can stop and start this test at any point. But more incredibly, you can actually edit your coaster track while the test is running. And imagine being on one of the trains while that was happening. Oh, and don't forget, you can switch heat maps between E, excitement, F, fear, and N, nausea, as well as the various G forces to see how your coaster is performing. That, my friend, is what we call a chunder train, aka the Spew Choo Choo. Your nausea rating is off the charts. Check that your train isn't making any sudden changes of direction at high speed, because that's a surefire way to make riders ill. Oh, and make sure to bank into your turns to eliminate those nauseating lateral G-forces.
How do I edit or whatever? Fuck. Delete.
your coaster didn't manage to finish a complete circuit. My advice is to make sure that the first drop is big enough to generate enough momentum to carry the train all the way round to the station. Although, you may need to revisit other aspects of the design too.
VUM Go.
Sadly, your coaster didn't manage to finish a complete circuit. My advice is to make sure that the first drop is big enough to generate enough momentum to carry the train all the way round to the station. Although, you may need to revisit other aspects of the design too. guest safety is important, but good gravy. The drive to the park was probably more exciting than your ride. You need to make sure that the train is getting up enough speed and goes through some exciting turns. Put some fear into the riders. Sadly, your